Good day everyone, so I'm Handonis Malpi sa my Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Mathematics. So I'm here right now to discuss or to share my tabular comparison about Dr. Jose Rizal and other Asian national hero. So I choose Mahatma Gandhi, which is the national hero of India. So let's start it.
Jaya 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 Jaya
Okay, so we will tackle about the background of the heroes. Okay, so Jose Rizal, in full name, Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Realonda, was born on June 19, 1861 in Calamba, Philippines, and died on December 13, 1896 in Manila. Patriot, a physician, and a man of leaders who was an inspiration to the Philippines nationalist movements. Mahatma Gandhi, by the full name of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, was born on October 2, 1869 on Porbandar, India, and died on January 30, 1948 at Delhi. He is an Indian lawyer, politician, social activist, and writer who became the leader of the nationalist movement against the British rule of India. Jose Rizal and Mahatma Gandhi were well-known nationalist leaders of the Philippines in the late 19th century and of India in the 28th century, respectively. Although the movements were of different contexts in different periods of time, they both shared identical plight to Western colonialism. What links up the two countries in the stream of history? They were both conquered and turned into colonies. The Philippines came under Spanish rule in 1565, while India came gradually under the British domination as early as in 1600s. On top of this, the Filipinos and the Indians found the colonial rules oppressive and exploitative, and in the midst there emerged two national leaders, Jose Rizal in the Philippines and Mahatma Gandhi in India. Both were national leaders in the reaction against the European domination. Okay, so their works and the revolutionary or the revolutions. Okay, so Rizal from this time onwards, he wrote poems, articles, essays, and books with the aims of unveiling and the ongoing suffering of the Filipinos under Spanish rule and asking for reforms. His two best known works were Noli Me Tangere in 1885 and El Filibusterismo in 1891. While Gandhi, his most best known programmes were Hindu-Muslim unity, the abolitions of untouchability and Khadi, local spinning industry. Under Gandhi guidance and leadership, the non-cooperation and civil disobedience were carried out in 1920s and 1930s respectively. Their movement. Rizal, instead of a revolution, Rizal preferred to be a reformer yielding loyalty to the colonizer and expressing love for his countrymen. His aims fell short of the mass expectations. Rizal stressed that people should have the inherent right to develop their intellectual and moral virtues. Rizal neither mentioned a revolution nor provided any guideline or directions. What he did was to point out the social ills of Spanish rule through Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo and other written works as the political aim in the nationalist movement. Rizal's ideals tend to be rather vague or obscure, especially to the illiterate mass. They are not strong and clear enough to win the mass support. Throughout the campaign, Rizal had to not try other means except the formation of Liga Filipina. However, it could not function to its capacity due to its short durations. So he was arrested and exiled to Dapitan, the southern part of the island of Mindanao. Later, he was shot during the revolutions incited by Bonifacio in 1896 and is remembered as national martyr. At the time of Rizal's death, the Philippines still remained under Spanish colonial rule through the revolution was in progress. Along the national path, Gandhi shifted from asking for dominion status in 1920s to complete independence in 1930s. He apprehended the British rule was the source of the mass suffering. It was only through independence that Indians could obtain happiness and liberty. Gandhi's Satyagraha in its different forms like boycotts, hartal, civil disobedience, negotiations, and fasting were striking to the masses. The Indians were encouraged to personally take part in the movement. Individual participation facilitated their under Gandhi's national ideals and aspiration. National consciousness toward the country grew immensely. In turn, such personal sentiment and experience can consolidate support for Gandhi. Their enthusiasm reflects the workability of Gandhi's strategies, setting the preconditions for his achievements of independence. After negotiations with the British government, India was declared independent in the midst of Quit India campaign in 1947. Conclusions. When viewing the independence movement of Rizal and Gandhi as a relay, Rizal was about at the starting point, laying down the foundation. Somebody should carry on the race, whereas Gandhi was able to complete the course touching off the finishing line. The time cannot reverse itself. By learning from history, one can avoid committing the same blunders. It is unfair to magnify the weaknesses of either Rizal or Gandhi. Their experience in the independence campaigns can serve as a referential guideline to all nationalist leader who strives for national good at present or in the future. Indeed, their distinctive interpretations of nationalism, selfless sacrifice, noble ideals, and emphasis on nonviolence all made them remarkable in history. The source of this presentation is in my Google Drive. This article was a research of the student in University of Hong Kong, which is Luke Wing Kam. This research is entitled Jose Rizal and Mahatma Gandhi, Nationalism and Nonviolence. It has 128 pages. So, this presentation is a summary of the said research. That will all. Thank you.